opinions expressed in the following program are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of the station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.
Do not attempt to recreate any of these moves at home. The wrestlers featured in tonight's Gold Dragon wrestling match are professionally trained athletes. This program contains scenes of violence. Viewer discretion is advised.
We have got a treat for you tonight. It is not very often that you're going to see this on your television screen, but we have tonight Adam Pearce, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, defending his belt against Mr. Intensity, Mark Posey, who incidentally is just about the #1 challenger in Canada. I'm Bob Leonard, and my table mate, J.S. McStrongarm, are going to be there calling all the action for you.
Bob, I'm absolutely excited about this match. Mark Posey, I'm not a big fan of. Obviously, he's partners with, Mr. Beefy Goodness, Vance Nevada. He and I have a bit of history. But Adam Pearce, the champion of the world, this man holds the oldest and most prestigious professional wrestling title on the planet. And he's right here in Gold Dragon Wrestling doing a match. I am so excited to be able to call this match with you today.
And I'm excited, too, as well. It's a long time since I've called a world title match, but it's going to be a pleasure. I know Adam Pearce is a tremendous talent in that ring. I think we're going to see a few things we haven't seen before.
Now, you've talked to both Posey and Pearce earlier today, and here's what they had to say, folks.
Mr. Intensity, Mark Posey, the challenger tonight for the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Championship held by Adam Pearce. This is going to be a classic, believe me. Mark Posey, you're with me right here. You're about to go into this match. Tell me about your chances to walk away the World Heavyweight Champion.
You know something, Bob Leonard? I got a ton of respect for Scrap Iron Adam Pearce. He's a 4-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion. He wrestles all over the world: Japan, England, Germany, the United States, Canada. What you have to remember, Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, is this is my yard. This is my ring. I have worked too hard for too long to squander this opportunity. So tonight, right here in Moose Jaw, when you step in the ring in Gold Dragon Wrestling against Mr. Intensity Mark Posey, you better bring everything you got, pal. 'Cause believe me, I'm not gonna hold back.
Well, there you have it. He sounds very positive about the outcome, I think, and very positive about what he's going to do to the champion. Mark, is this your first shot at the NWA World title?
It's the only shot I'm going to need, because at the end of the night, you're going to be announcing me as the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
All right, we'll see what happens. Hang on for that match. It's World Heavyweight Wrestling Championship time, and I have with me the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion, Scrap Iron Adam Pearce. And he will be in a terrific match tonight, I know, with the challenger, Mr. Intensity, Mark Posey. Adam, welcome to Canada.
Bob, it's a pleasure. Let me say first and foremost that to bring the 10 pounds of gold to Moose Jaw is a distinct honor. But I need to touch on something a little bit more important than the pleasantries, Mark Posey, Mr. Intensity. You know, when I watch Gold Dragon Wrestling and I see Mark Posey, the thing that stands out to me more than anything else is the look in the man's eyes. Well, look in mine, Mark Posey. You said it best, 4 times the heavyweight champion of the world. And Bob, they don't call me the green-eyed devil for nothing. I have a general disdain for most human beings, Mark Posey, but today, you are at the top of that list. And why? Because I come through Canada and it's always a pleasure, and I got you running down my back. When I'm in the ring with Vance, Nevada a few days ago, doing business the way we do, with the richest prize in the history of the sport on the line, who would it be but Mr. Mark Posey want to slip in the back door and put a knife in my back? Today, my friend, redemption is mine. Now, he said something else I thought was very appropriate, Mr. Leonard. He talked about having an opportunity. Well, here in Gold Dragon, here we are. We're going to stand eyes to eyes, nose to nose, and toes to toes, Mark Posey. And you're going to get your opportunity. One thing I want you to remember, and listen to every syllable that comes out of my mouth. In this lifetime, in this ring, in this business, you get but one opportunity. And tonight, Mark Posey, that opportunity just might knock you out.
Fighting words indeed from the World Heavyweight Champion. I think we're going to see an absolute classic in here tonight, and we'll be in the ring with that in just a very few minutes.
From coast to coast, the trucking industry employs 400,000 hard-working Canadian men and women, generating $65 billion annually to support the Canadian economy, and is vital to our way of life. If you got it, the truck brought it. Visit cantruck.com for details.
Do not attempt to recreate any of these moves at home. The wrestlers featured in tonight's Gold Dragon Wrestling match are professionally trained athletes. This program contains scenes of violence. Viewer discretion is advised.
And there it is,
There
the
it is,
NWA World Title.
Ric Flair called it the 10 pounds of gold, and that's about what it weighs.
And Mark Posey wants to get a good look at that belt. It's a pretty big deal to have anyone be named a #1 contender for that belt. To even just get a shot at it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And Mark Posey has been waiting for this for such a long time.
Well, it is that, and Adam Pearce. And by the way, we should note right away, this is the 4th time that Adam Pearce has held the NWA World Title.
It is. He's a 4-time champion.
And he won it, I believe, it was about last summer, August, September. And he has been traveling incessantly ever since. It took months to get him up here to Canada to defend against people like Mark Posey.
Well, that's right, because he's gone to Europe, he's gone to Australia, he's gone to Africa, he's gone to almost every country on the planet. He's been to every continent as far as I know.
I believe,
he's
yeah.
Amazing performer, an incredible athlete, and deservedly the NWA World Champion. But Mark Posey, no slouch in his own right. This man just currently won an award in Edmonton as Wrestler of the Year.
Right, I heard about that, and
as 2011,
quite an accomplishment.
That's right, 2011 Wrestler of the Year in Edmonton, Alberta. You know, Mark Posey is a talented individual. He's clearly put together. He's got muscles on top of muscles. He's a fantastically built individual.
And very, very experienced.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of ring moxie, a lot of ring smarts. He knows very well what he's doing in there. And you know, Mark Posey can play it both ways. He can wrestle scientifically, or he can rough it up with the best of them.
Well, I've seen him do all kinds of matches, from hardcore matches with his arch rival, Massive Damage up in Alberta, to, you know, ladder matches. I mean, he can do it all, and he can grapple with the best of them. Mark Posey is a skilled technician, and Adam Pearce, you know, he has his work cut out for him tonight.
Oh, he does have it. He's got a little size advantage over Mark Posey, and I'm sure he'll use that size advantage, height advantage. And he is used to, as most of, well, no, let's say all of.
Oh, a big right hand. Adam Pearce.
All the world champions were always used to defending against a wide variety of styles, and obviously Adam Pearce is in that mold. He knows how to defend about near anything.
Now, I'm not a big fan of Mark Posey. I mean, obviously he's in the tag team known as Bulletproof with the man I dislike the most in, obviously, Mr. Beefy Goodness, Vance Nevada. But I can't knock the guy's ability. I mean, but he's a bully. He picks on people. He was one of the two individuals, him and Vance Nevada, who attacked the ring announcer, Scott Evans.
Very true.
But to be able to get a one-on-one shot with the world champion, it is the most prestigious championship on the planet. One of the most coveted wrestling belts in the world.
And that belt has a long history. That dates back to the World Title Unification in 1948. The belt was awarded to the great Lou Thez. And really, there never has been another like Lou. But that's got a long, uninterrupted history behind it. And Adam Pearce is in extremely good company. And in more recent years, the NWA belt was used to start the original WCW, also the original ECW. And TNA. Exactly, and currently TNA. Running TNA. It was the TNA belt. And what a lot of people don't realize is that the NWA belt is its own unique entity. You know, it's not owned by anyone except the NWA. That's right. And they guard it jealously.
They do.
Believe me.
And only the best in the world can hold that belt, because you have to beat a lot of really good performers to get that belt around your waist. And Mark Posey has a chance to beat the best of the best in Scrap Iron Adam Pearce right here and now.
He certainly does. And, you know, the champion travels around the world meeting the best of the best in every single territory he goes to. So he is used to facing major challenges. So if Mark Posey could pull off a victory, what a feather in his cap, besides having the belt, just to say, I scored 1, 2, 3 over Adam Pearce.
And Adam Pearce working on a shoulder here. He's got that arm. And Posey pushing him back into the corner. Posey with a swing and a big European uppercut from Adam Pearce. And Adam Pearce just taking it. Just taking it to Mr. Intensity, Mark Posey.
Oh,
and Mark Posey taking the
right
short up, going right up for the throat. And I've seen Mark Posey like this before. When he gets an advantage, he starts to stalk his victims. He starts to slow it down to his pace and tear his victims apart piece by piece. And the Scrap Iron Adam Pearce isn't careful.
He could have a major problem.
And Adam Pearce kicking out at 1. And it looks like he's got a choke on Adam Pearce.
The way Adam is kicking to escape that, I think that was more than just leaning on him.
And Mark Posey using that second rope to choke out Adam Pearce. And the official giving a long 5 count.
World champion!
He's giving a little bit of leeway to Mark Posey, but I'm thinking that head official Brian McKenzie here, he wants to see a winner.
Oh, I think he does, a very definite one. And,
well, he doesn't want these fans to leave with a disqualification.
oh, no. Oh, big man, big drop kick.
That's right, a great big drop kick from Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, and nose to nose with Mark Posey.
Look at the quickness of those punches.
And that's a big man doing quick punches like that.
That is, he just flicks them out. You can barely see them.
And Mark Posey going right back to the throat on Scrap Iron Adam Pearce. He's trying to stop Adam Pearce from breathing. If he cuts off the oxygen from Adam Pearce, he can't keep all those big muscles of his going. He can't keep himself going. If he can't get oxygen in those lungs,
that'll wear you down quicker than anything.
and Adam Pearce is a big, big man to have to be wearing down. But I think Mark Posey had a strategy coming into this match, and he's holding to it.
Here we see again Mark Posey slowing it down, taking the chin lock. He's going to immobilize him and keep that pressure on the throat, cut off his airway if possible. And, you know, the other thing that does, puts pressure on the carotids, cuts off the blood supply to your brain partially.
Yes.
Much akin to what a sleeper hold does.
And it looks like he's got it on synced in deep. And this is the third.
That's 2.
No. The ref says no. And it looks like Scrap Iron Adam Pearce is coming back. Elbow.
Oh, coming back
Elbow.
with a vengeance.
Oh, and Mark Posey with an elbow of his own. Right to the mush of Scrap Iron Adam Pearce. And a big headbutt.
That is deadly. Mark Posey delivers the deadliest blow there. Skull to skull. What can you say?
Well, Mark Posey picked that up from you know, watching legends like the Dynamite Kid used to do that one all the time.
Dynamite used to do that, take a tremendous dive right off the top rope. He would get a lot of height and then crashing down. He might hit your rib cage and could crack ribs with it. He might do it skull to skull, whatever it took, Dynamite would do. And I happen to know that Mark Posey is a sort of a subscriber to the Dynamite school of thought on offense.
Well,
So I'm not surprised.
it's a dangerous move, both for the giver and the taker, if it's not not done properly.
That's
and
right.
It seems like Mark Posey has obviously worked on the science of that headbutt.
I think so. And what you have to keep in mind about that headbutt as well, beyond damaging your skull if you land wrong, most every time you do that, it puts tremendous pressure on the neck and can wear down those neck vertebrae very, very badly.
Mark Posey with another headbutt and a big elbow to the temple to Scrap Iron Adam Pearce. Scrap Iron dazed and a throat thrust back to the throat, working on that throat, cutting off the air supply. And Scrap Iron Adam Pearce clearly in agony from these throat chops and throat thrusts of Mr. Intensity, Mark Posey.
He is. He's laboring mightily to get to his feet here, but Mark, of course, is not letting him gain a foothold.
kick out at 2 for the NWA World's Champion. And once again, we see Mark Posey stalking his opponent. And Adam Pearce coming back.
Oh,
and they're both down.
Double down.
Now Scrap Iron Adam Pearce needs to get some momentum coming out of that double shoulder block. They both went down. Because if he can get some momentum, he can get himself back in this really quick.
Oh, he can, yes.
A man of his technical skill, that's no problem.
You know, I think he's going to get a couple of seconds lead on Mark Posey getting up here. And he's set to go offensive. Ah, yes.
And a headbutt of his own. And another headbutt. And a shot. And another right. And another right. And a big right hand. Pulling Mark Posey's hair.
I think Adam Pearce has just had enough of Mark Posey. He is on the attack now.
And Mark Posey raking the eyes. Oh, and a big spine buster. This is Mr. Beefy Goodness, Vance Nevada. What is he doing at ringside? He has no business being out here.
The referee putting the count on him. Adam Pearce taking things into his own hands here. But colliding with a tremendous shot from Mark Posey.
And Mr. Posey had something in his hand. He had a loaded hand. And here it is, 1, 2. Oh, and he kicked out. A long 2 count, but he kicked out.
Are you kidding me?
Scrap Iron Adam Pearce with resolve of the tank. Not giving up, not quitting. And now reaching for these fans, trying to get some help, trying to get the fans behind him. Scrap Iron Adam Pearce slowly getting up. And Scrap Iron Adam Pearce getting ready.
I think Adam Pearce is charging up here.
He's getting...
Yes, he is.
He's charged up. He's powered up.
He's not even feeling those punches, but he's sure making Mark Posey feel it.
And a big whip to the corner. And Scrap Iron Adam Pearce. Oh, and a big clothesline from Scrap Iron Adam Pearce.
Here we go, Mark Posey laid out like a carpet.
Adam Pearce going to the second
Adam
row.
Pearce
And a
away
big
with the
fist.
fist.
Oh! Right to the face.
1, 2.
Oh!
Only
Kick out
2.
at 2.
Vance Nevada at ringside cheering on Mark Posey.
And I still don't know why Vance Nevada's even out here. I mean, him and Scrap Iron Adam Pearce had some issues just a while ago.
Yes, they did.
There was some controversy around Vance Nevada winning the NWA World's title. It was then receded. And senior official Brian McKenzie giving Vance Nevada a piece of his mind.
Oh, shades of Roddy Piper, the eye poke.
And Scrap Iron Adam Pearce giving Mark Posey a taste of his own medicine, pulling out a few cheap shots, if you will. And those are really big chops from Mr. Intensity, Mark Posey, and another hard forearm to the temple of Scrap Iron Adam Pearce.
This is really getting rough. They are getting down to the short strokes here where they're putting all the power they can muster into whatever it may be, a kick, a punch.
They put a lot of effort into this match, and both men are clearly exhausted, clearly weighed away. And a chop of his own from Adam Pearce.
Oh, what a chop. One more, he said.
And Mark Posey once again going for the eyes.
Big elbow smash right to the temple. That takes
It's reversed. Oh, and Mark Posey takes it hard in the corner. Vance Nevada trying to get Mark Posey out and get his wits back to him. Adam Pearce gaining some momentum. Kick to the stomach. And here it comes. The Adam Pearce signature. And that'll be it for Mark Posey. 1, 2, 3.
That's it, that's all. Your winner and still the World Heavyweight Champion, Adam Pearce, right here in the Gold Dragon ring.
Gold Dragon Wrestling hosting Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, the world champion. And Scrap Iron Pearce coming out in the win. Scrap Iron Adam Pearce putting that signature pile driver onto Mr.
What a pile driver.
And now he's taunting Mr. Beefy Goodness, Vance Nevada.
We may not be finished here.
And I don't know if Vance Nevada wants a piece of Scrap Iron right now. I thought not.
Oh, backing down.
Typical Mr. Beefy Goodness. And Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, still the NWA World Champion, still holding that 10 pounds of gold in his hand.
And inviting Vance Nevada to come into the ring.
And these two have heat. These two, like I said before, there was some controversy around Mr. Beefy Goodness winning the NWA World title.
Absolutely, and it was been stripped from him and given back to Adam Pearce.
Well, there was some controversy around the end of that match. I was fortunate enough to be calling that in CNWA. And I saw that match firsthand.
Banging the top of his head.
2, 3, and Scrap Iron Adam Pearce gives it to Mr. Beefy Goodness, Vance Nevada, and this crowd is absolutely eating it up. And I can't say I blame them, not one bit. I am loving this. Scrap Iron Adam Pearce taking it to Bulletproof.
Well, believe me, that's a match. I'm worn out just from watching it. Adam Pearce retaining the NWA World Heavyweight Championship over a tremendous challenger, Mark Posey. It wasn't an easy battle, but Adam emerged victorious. He goes home with the belt.
You know, Bob, I'm not a big Posey fan, I'll tell you what, but he took it to Adam Pearce, but you know, fortunately, the world champion was able to hold his own and come out on top. Thanks for watching Gold Dragon Wrestling on Shaw TV. For Bob Leonard, I'm J.S. McStrongarm. Have a great night.
We'll see you.
Do not attempt to recreate any of these moves at home. The wrestlers featured in tonight's Gold Dragon Wrestling match are professionally trained athletes.
The opinions expressed on the program you have just watched are not necessarily those of Shaw Cable Systems or of this station. Through our access policy, we provide the opportunity for community groups and individuals to express their points of view.